Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Vectoscaler Tech Talk Show. In each and every episode, we have some amazing speaker, and in the same line, we have Vishal Kanodia with us, who will be talking about challenges faced by startups and how to overcome them. Welcome, Vishal, to the Vectoscaler Tech Talk.
Hi, Vikas. Thank you. Thanks for inviting me.
Thanks again. And for the benefit of our users, you should know what Vishal has done in his life so far. So, Vishal Kanodia is a corporate leader with nearly 15 years of experience in the healthcare industry. He is a seasoned leader and a qualified chartered accountant, company secretary, and diploma holder in Information Systems Audit (DISA). He currently serves as the Chief Operating Officer and Company Secretary at Cordlife India, one of the leading stem cell banks in the country. In this role, he provides co-leadership and manage all aspects of operation to achieve the overall company objectives. He is responsible for strategy formation and the implementation of it, managing profitability, risk management. During his stint with EY, he has successfully handled multiple projects, audits, and compliance issues and have contributed to the growth and profitability of the company. He is passionate about delivering excellence in finance, operations, and governance, and leveraging key skills and expertise to create value for the stakeholders. So, Vishal, that's a very interesting profile. So, tell us more about your journey, that from where you started and how you landed up what you are doing right now.
I landed in the family business itself when I was born in 1997. That's
Okay.
how it started. Okay, so I belong from the business family. Okay, my father is doing a business, a small business in Patna, and I born and
Okay.
brought up there. Okay, then I moved to Calcutta in 2005, whereby I've done my chartered accountancy course and company secretary, also diploma in information system audit, BCom. So my all of these courses I've done from Calcutta. Then I joined ENY. So ENY was like an also an institute for me. Okay, because that was my first job, and I learned many things there, like all the nuances of business, all the nuances of corporates, everything. So that was my first job, and after that I joined Cordlife Group Limited. Okay, Cordlife Group Limited is a Singapore company, and they are running the operations in the 7 countries in the Asia, headquartered in Singapore. So I was taking care of the regional. I was the regional finance manager first for the Southeast Asia region for them, but after that I moved the ladder, and now I'm taking care of the India operations as a chief operating officer for Cordlife.
Okay.
Also,
Great. Great.
along with that, like my journey towards, like, apart from my corporate side, I'm also the chartered member of a tie, whereby I am actually trying to give some benefit to the startup communities. Okay, if like any kind of a mentorship, kind of a networking they need, kind of help any they need, then we help them to achieve that.
Okay.
That how I
Thanks.
do.
Thanks, Vishal, for sharing about that. But when we were having that quick conversation, you talked about that how you actually transition into CA and your the w- kind of performance that you had at 12th. So probably my audience would love to know about that aspect of your life as well. So could you brief about that?
Okay. So yeah, so like sometimes it's like in the startups we always say that it's good to fail fast. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think that has happened with me. God has planned this for me when I was in my class 12. Okay, and I poorly performed there in my class 12, and that was like a resilience for me. Like nobody in the family and nobody has even thought about that even I can achieve and I can do even a chartered accountancy course, like and even my BCom, say, I'll say. So that was like a resilience for me from that point of a time. Okay, like that where I have grown. Okay, and that, like any of the time in my life, whenever I feel low and I feel loss of confidence, that can happen to anybody because of any reason. I just go and see my result at that point of a time, that what I was and where I have come. That gives me a lot of boost to be here, and that actually fades away all the loss of confidence or any other anxiety issues, everything. So that is
Good to
something that was an interesting part of me. So that I failed fast. God has actually planned that well for me. So many of the times I shared this my story to the startup community. That is good if you're failing fast. Don't worry about it, okay? Because it's good that you are getting a different opportunity or a second opportunity very soon. Otherwise, if you fail late, it will be difficult for you to rise from there.
So failing fast is the mantra that you got early in your life after completing your 12th, and that is still with you. And that's probably the guiding force behind the further work. That whenever you face any challenges in your current work, you always remind yourself of that. That if I can do that at that point of time, so anything can be done. Great to hear about that. And I think that's about all the startups, as you mentioned, that failing, how to managing failure, that itself is a big thing. And kudos to you that how you manage that part. Now tell us more about Cordlife India and your role. Like, what is the company and what do they do?
So Cordlife is a group based out in Singapore, and it's like a stem cells banking company. Stem cells is the component which normally when mother delivers a child, okay, at that point of a time, we
Okay.
preserve the cord blood and the cord tissue of the child, and that comes as a lifesaver for many diseases. So like there are almost 80 diseases for which you can use. And
Okay.
so like in many of the cases client in many of the cases many of the patients have also used it, and that comes as a lifesaver. So in the Cordlife India is the part of the Cordlife Group Limited. So out of the 7 countries, one of their operation is in India, and I am looking after all the operations and the business aspects of it here.
Okay. Great. Good to know that. So, Vishal, how that transition and mentoring about startup happened? Because you have been part of a corporate journey, and definitely corporate life is a different life. So, how did you get insight about that? How to run a business, how to run a startup, and all those insights?
So like I mentioned in the beginning that I born in the a family where business was the prominent thing. So it was there from the beginning itself. Okay. And after that, even when I came to Calcutta and when I started doing my job in ENY, okay, what I realized that instinct is still there in me. So whenever I was going to the client, like instead of like even after doing audit, I used to tell them that you do this thing, you do this thing, okay, so that like it may be a profitable thing for you. So client used to love that part of it too. So even when I left Cordlife and I left EY and I joined Cordlife, I still maintained that. So obviously, I am applying those things in the company, but I also have this instinct to apply it outside world at what is happening, and that how I joined TIE, and from there also I'm helping the community of the startups. I'm helping anyone who is looking for any kind of a business help.
Okay. Thanks. Good to know about that aspect. So, as per your experience, what are the key challenges faced by startups nowadays?
See, there are some of the normal challenges which I think most of people know about it now, considering uh, about the awareness about the startup that we have. But still, there are some, okay, which is like even the repetitive kind of a thing, but most prominent is about, see, funding is one aspect of it, okay, that, yeah, it's very difficult to get out the funding. There is no doubt about it. But one of the thing which I have seen is the lack of the financial literacy with the guys who is coming into the business, and that hurts them a lot. So like, see, even if you don't understand the finances, okay, that it's still okay. But after one point of a time, if you are planning to coming into the business, it's very important for any of the startup to learn about the finances, or to at least have someone as a mentor who can help them. So I have seen that most of the time, okay, that even the founder and the co-founders, even if they are actually uh, giving their pitch, okay, they probably giving their details about the expenses, okay, but they don't know how to convert into the numbers of revenue, how to convert into the P&L. So at that point of a time, if you're asking some of the questions from the pitch, then probably they take the step back. And see, I like as
Okay.
a founder, as a co-founder, if you don't have that confidence on your numbers, then it's very difficult for you to achieve your milestone, to get that funding milestone, or maybe to the business
That makes
milestone also.
sense.
So I
Okay.
think that I have seen in many of those startups specifically, which is coming from the villages, which is coming from the colleges, engineering colleges, okay, where there is a lack of the financial literacy. So I always tell all of my colleagues or all of my even networks, okay, wherever I meet the startup community, that if required, take the help of the mentors, take the help of your friends, but the financial literacy is the very important thing for you to learn about if you want to go into the business.
Okay. So you talked about first funding. That definitely funding is an ongoing challenge for the startups. And for that, definitely the financial literacy that you talked about, that founders, especially the co-founders, should have the fundamental understandings of the financial literacy, so that once they are working on their numbers, they have a fair good idea that what they are talking about. So is there any other challenge that you see being faced by startups, or that's your key area?
No, see, like I'll say two more. Okay, one is about the availability of the data. What I have
Okay.
seen is like most of the people when they are actually analyzing their business, okay, they are not analyzing well about their competition. They are
Okay.
not analyzing about the data which is available in the market. Okay, then how can you dig deep into it to get the sense out of the data? We all know that how what important, how much data important is,
Yes.
but how to inference, how to take the inference from data, what to take out from data again. Okay, so this is the very important aspect which I have seen missing. So for example, see, in the startup you are allowed to do even copying others idea, right? You can always do that, nobody will stop you. But even if you're doing it, you must be aware about the kind of challenges they are going through. You have to enter more into their data first, so that you are not making the same mistakes. Otherwise, if you make the same mistakes that what they have done, then probably you are taking, you are actually taking more time to reach your milestone. So
That
that
makes
also
sense.
is one of the key areas that which I have seen in most of the startups, especially again whereby the financial literacy comes. Okay, the financial literacy is one of the key, I'll say. These aspects come itself. Why? Because then you know more, you want to dig deep more into the data when you are going to the financials. So that's why the role of finances comes here again as a big boost for any of the startups.
Okay. Okay. And what is the third one? Any other?
So, like, see, apart from that, the marketing side of it, that how to market it, because, for example, if somebody is presenting the pitch, okay, in that pitch, if you're presenting the marketing expense as one of the line item, which we all know that is one of the important aspect for any of the startup, whether you are investing in Instagram or whether you're investing in Facebook or any of the medias, okay, but you cannot just have the investment plan for it. Okay, if you are providing those kind of information, it's better in the pitch itself that you are converting it to the number, that how you are going to achieve that. Because there are many
Okay.
people available who is saying that, yeah, I'm going to invest here, I'm going to invest here, but how as an investor I'll get the comfort that yes, this investment is going to work for you. So that is
Okay.
also one of the aspect, that how we are actually translating our marketing expenses to the number. What is the idea behind it? Okay, if you have the proper team, that's a very good thing. Okay, like one of the aspect also which I can add here is about the team. Okay, I've seen in many of the startups that they don't want to form the team. Okay, still, like, this is if there is a founder, probably is a from engineer or from any other background. Okay, it's
Okay.
always good to have somebody as a co-founder or at least as a team member, and that should be a real help for you. Like I have seen, just to form a big team, many of the time you just like keep 5 6 people on a deck, but after that when you are talking to them, you are realizing that no, they are not actually the partners. So at that time your confidence level goes down drastically. Okay,
Okay.
that
Okay.
maybe you're representing them as a partner, so never do that. So like be like a it's very clear, be like a transparent with the founder, that yeah, they are the people who is helping me out, but they are not still my the part of the team. Once I'll get the funding, they will become the part of my team. So that gives more confidence to any of the investors.
Okay, that makes total sense. Before moving to my next question, I have a question. Question is from Nikhil Agarwal himself. So he is asking, Vishal, what is your opinion on how should startup balance innovation with financial sustainability in the early stages?
See, I'll say, just a moment, I'll just take the question again.
Sure.
See, if you're talking about the financial sustainability, that what I was talking about, okay, that innovation is something which is coming from the within, okay. So, like if somebody is an innovator, he can still innovate, and innovate, okay. But to
Yes.
translate into the financials, that is also one of the skills. So either you learn it or either you take the help from it, okay. And if you're talking about that sustainability once you grow, because see, there is always a milestone for a person. So for example, if I have the innovation idea, okay, and if I want to translate into the financial numbers, I want to convert into the business, I can convert into the business. But I have to be certain benchmark that, yeah, I have target to go into the listing, or I have a target to go for one of the particular area where I want to reach. So in most of the cases, what I have seen in case of the financial sustainability, if you don't have the proper team, that where you lacks. So it's always better that if you have the innovation idea, if you want to achieve the financial sustainability in the early stages, either you take the help of mentor from the beginning, okay, or you can take help from the some of your co-founders. Make someone who is a financial literate as a co-founder. Sometimes you will feel that no, like financial is something which is just a number. मेरे को कितना पैसा आ
Yeah.
रहा है. I'm just getting what the amount of money I'm receiving,
Yes.
and I'm just deducting my expense, and that's all. But that is not all about the financials. It's much beyond. Like we must have heard about many of the companies who just on the basis of financials is going to make the lot of money. So for example, IPO, right? If you want to go into the IPO in the beginning, you have to make your preparation from the very beginning. So I'll say that is like also financial sustainability from the day one for you, that you know
Okay.
that if my idea is good, if something which I can go they convert into the numbers. But if you're not planning it from the beginning with a proper guidance, then probably you'll not achieve that milestone. I'll just add one more to the Nikhil's
Sure.
question here, that see, with the innovation, one of the most important aspect which I have seen many of the startups lacking is the registration of the patents. Okay, so I
Okay.
think this is one of the mantra that I'll say if you really want to use your innovation and the future as a financial sustainability. Okay, why? Because see, if people think that oh, this is a very small idea, but no, none of the idea, none of the innovation is small. You are considering, if you are owning this idea, if you're considering this idea that this is something which you have thought about, just give it a try. If this is a patented, go and get it the patent. Why? You never know, tomorrow if you are not doing it, someone else is going to do it, and then they will ask you to stop the business,
Makes sense.
right?
Makes
Because
sense. Yeah. Yeah, it makes total sense. So, I thanks Nikhil for asking your question. I hope your question is answered. I'll move to the next question which I have, that Vishal, when you talked about that you have been mentoring different companies and you have been helping them with this kind of mentoring. So would you like to consider any example where probably once you start focusing on the number game, the dynamics of the company change, because it will help our audience understand the situation better, that how numbers can play the role in the success of a startup.
okay, so I'll not name the company. Okay, so I'm just
Sure.
talking about. I'm just giving an example of one of the company who was I going through. Okay, so one of the company who was almost doing the same business like the health company, health, like I just forgot the name of the company, Healthify Me.
Okay.
Okay, the similar kind of
Okay.
a business they were doing.
Okay.
Okay, so what I have seen that they tried to grab the market with the keeping the price at a low range. Okay,
Okay.
so for example, if you're keeping the price low, probably you can target the masses, you can target the college students. So for example, like Healthify Me has the targets of all the people who is at least having a good income. I'll say middle or low middle income age group. Okay, but their target was to go below that. But they
Okay.
have not realized, okay, that they realized that yeah, they can do that. Okay, but when they were presenting their numbers, like they were considering that probably they are going into the college and they will get the half of the crowd. Okay, and because their prices was very low. But when you will go in the technology part of it, okay, that how healthy me is doing the same thing, okay, then you will realize that the cost of maintaining that technology is very very high. So probably you can get the clients in the beginning, you feel like that, okay, my server is working fine, but once you, like, there is a server that only you have to invest in and you can actually grab this market, the things doesn't happen like that, right? You,
Okay.
when you are entering into the technology, then you will realize that there are a lot of many other expenses which you have not considered maybe in the beginning. Without that cost, without that masses, okay, that has come to you, without that volume that has come to you, that is looking something which is achievable. But you, when you will see that business going beyond, okay, which you are targeting, have you considered the cost up to that extent? so
Okay.
so when I was going through, I realized, I just, because see, I have the access of data, I also held them with the data of the healthify me. There were four more competitors which we have downloaded the data. Then they
Okay.
realized that no, the cost that what we are thinking about is not that low. So see, they have reached up to a very high level. Like they have reached up to the extent whereby they were presenting in one of the finals of the tie. Okay, but they have changed their entire business model. They have to change their entire business model in a day, 2 3 days of time, because otherwise, if the pitchers is like going to ask you about your competition, okay, even though you have the data, you are talking about that, yeah, costing is going to uh, like low cost is going to help you grab the market share, but how you are going to execute, how, because the customer delight is same at all the places, whether it's someone who is coming from the college or whether it's someone who is from coming from the high income group, but they need at least the customer delight for the kind of payment they are doing it to you. So that
Makes
way,
sense.
that way, like things change for them, okay, and they actually face the same questions from the uh, picture, okay, from the investors, and then they realize that they have done the correct thing, okay, then they change. Like these things matters a lot.
Yes.
What do
So
you-
probably in the early in the adoption, one startup might think that they can just offer the same thing at the lower price, and pricing can be the winning factor. But if that pricing is not sustainable enough, so definitely it is going to have a long-term impact. So you corrected them that by implementing a sustainable strategy, which sounds logical to everyone else, that okay, that makes it a sustainable business. Thanks, Vishal, for sharing that
I'm just
example.
giving
And
you one more
yeah,
example if time permits.
sure,
Okay.
go ahead. Yes.
So, like, see, one of the example, it's about one of the pitch which I have received is from, I think you must have heard about lab grown diamonds. Okay.
Yes.
Have you
And
heard
in
about
recent
lab
time,
grown?
their yeah, lab grown diamonds, and in the recent time, I think their prices reduced drastically. That also was in the news.
Right, right,
Yeah.
correct. Have you heard
Yeah.
about lab grown kesar?
Lab grown case are not so far.
Saffron. You know saffron, right?
Yeah. Yes. Saffron, I know.
No,
Yes.
I've not heard about. So, okay, so this was
Yes.
something which we have received in one of the pitch. Okay, so you will not realize that, yeah, the pitch was very good, and that sounds quite interesting. I'm sure that that is sounding interesting to you also. Okay, that
Yes.
even kesar like saffron like thing is you can grow anywhere in the world. Okay, because you have to maintain
Yeah.
the kind of a temperature that what the plant need, and then you are growing it in, because it's an expensive product. We all know about it. It's like uh, something which is even more than costing more than the diamonds. So what they have
Sure.
done, they have taken considered it as one of the revenue sources, okay, but they have not realized that the fixed cost which they are going to incur about it, okay, it's not only about to maintain the temperature, okay, it's also about to get it certified from the bodies, okay, because see, this is something which is a food item. If you're going to sell it
Yes.
outside, if you are going to sell it in India, even maybe in the India the regulations are not that strong, but if we are planning to sell it, export it outside, then you have to go with all those standards and all those stuff, and which is a costly affair, okay.
Yes.
So if you're not considering that as your
Yes.
cost, if you're not considering is one of the part of your assessment as part of your that grade, okay, if you're only considering the basic gross profit margin thing, that yeah, I've just constructed the lab, then I can sell maybe 40 50 kgs of a saffron in a year. So that is not going to work. So again, in that example, what we realize that many of the costs, okay, that actually they should have to be covered in their mm, pitch, that they have not covered. So this happens many of the times, and actually that gives false kind of a pride that yeah, my company is profitable, and after that you realize that no, it will not give you profit unless and until you are doing the more adjustments in it.
That makes total sense. And I can see again and again the number game is whenever you are giving us some example, I can hear that word number game. That it's all about numbers, whether it's financial number or how you are managing your costing or how you are going to mark up the pricing of your product. Everything is a number game. I have another question coming from Amit, who is asking to what extent founders should learn about the financial. See, you are coming from a CA background, so you know a lot, but if someone is just starting a company, they are focused on other aspects. So to what extent they should learn financial?
So see, my take is obviously you cannot be the financial expert, and like investors are not expecting it from you. Anyone is not expecting it from you. Only thing is that at least you know, okay, that how the balance sheet, PL, and the cash flow operates.
Okay.
Okay, in which I'll say the cash flow is the most prominent. Okay, and PNL, like all these three are the prominent, and you know that how to read the financial statements of your competitor. That is the most prominent, I'll say. So
Okay.
there are the part of the notes and also not required to be financial expert for that, but at least because see, if you will see anyone, okay, whether it's Sensex or whether it's NSE, BSC, okay, they are trying to attract more and more investors who are not financially literate. So what they are trying to do, that we have to translate the numbers so easy that it's very easier for anyone to understand, any investor, whether he's coming from the financial background or he's not coming from the financial background.
Okay.
So up to that extent, okay, that at least you can understand the financial statements. I think that is enough for you. And if you start doing that, that will give you more and enough to run your own business also. So maybe you just go through 3 4 financial statements, and there are a lot of like YouTube channels available who can help you for that. Okay, if you want, that is enough for founders to start with.
Okay. Okay. So basic cash flow, PNL, and especially the financial statement of competitors. So these three, four statements should be to start with, and then gradually, as in when one see the need of it, then they can develop that knowledge. And also, as you mentioned in the beginning itself, that it's not an individual's game. One is not expected to know everything. So they can form a team where other people are having the complementary skill, which can lead to the success of startup.
Absolutely. So see,
Okay.
once you are entering into the business now, then you are bound to learn everything. So only challenge is that till the time that you are not in the full-fledged business, you are planning the business. When you are planning, then you are making most of the things. And if planning is wrong, then you know, right? Entirely things may go wrong. So that's why that planning stage, that learning is more important. Once you enter the business, like that business will make you learn about the finances. That I'm sure.
Sure, sure. I have another question coming from Rashi Agrawal, who is asking, what strategies have you seen work well for startups trying to scale quickly without losing their core values and product quality? Any success story that you have seen it happening like that?
So okay, I'm just sharing one of the success story for one of the startup. Okay,
Yeah.
see, again, I think if you are transparent with your consumer and with your investor, that works really well, I'll say. Okay, because I think now we all know that the world is going into the place whereby people wants to keep things transparent. Okay,
Yeah.
even I think probably you can also see at some point of a time that people will disclose their costing and will say that yeah, I'm charging things profit. That day is also something which is not very far. Okay, why? Because now people realize that what I am paying, it should must feeling, you should must feel the value of it. Okay, that why I'm charging, why I'm doing this. Because see, most of the information is now available on the financial statements, one which you can go and can know about it. So if you really want to scale your business quickly, I'll say keep your things transparent, and be like your integrity should be your first thing. Okay, if you are trying to uh, fudge some data, if you are trying to just get the investors, okay, maybe you can achieve 1 or 2 milestones, but after that it's for sure that you will not go. So like one of the startup, I'll say that's a profitable startup. They've started in 2018. Okay. So one of the co-founder, okay, they exited the business. So they very clearly wrote the email to all the investors that has happened with me. Okay, and after that, none of the investors raised any of the points that no, like this can be a downfall and all. They everyone has given that comfort to them that you go ahead, no problem, we will help you at this moment. Even they helped with the extra funding. Now I know the scenario has changed a little bit. Okay, but in 2018, they got that extra help from the investors, and now today they are the profitable startups. You can see the kids in fee as they are running the successfully their website, and also the ed in fee. So like they are in the edutech business, and they are doing quite good with this. One of the thing that they scaled their business with the foundation that they don't want to hide anything from their founders, anything which has been gone wrong.
Got it, got it. So that's a very beautiful and crucial advice, is to be transparent with the investors and your clients and your buyers. And one of the way could be the numbers. Numbers should be very clear, and people should be aware that then there are auditor like Vishal who will not let you pass by when if you are fudging the numbers, right? So thanks, Rashi, for asking your question. I hope your question is answered. In the
So
interest
I
of
can
time,
just
I'll
add one more thing for Rashi about the
for sure.
product quality. Okay, so
Yeah.
that also comes in the transparency itself, that you have to be very clear about your goals, that what you are going to, how you're adding value to your clients. Okay, and that is something which pays absolutely well. Anything else, even if you're charging high, if your product quality is something which deserves, okay, the client is ready to pay. In today's world, I think money is not the factor. Even people wants to buy cheap things. Okay, that is always something on the buyer side that they want to do. Okay, that will always be there, but if you can show the value, you will get the business.
Sure, sure. Thanks for sharing that part. In the interest of time, there are a couple of more questions, but I'll take this as the last question, which is coming from Shubham Gupta, who is asking that what strategies would you recommend for early stage startup to effectively validate their market before launching a product? Because I think product market fit is one of the key mantras suggested by experienced entrepreneurs, that how early you are able to find that product market fit. So any strategy, any preferred strategy that you have seen working for startups that you mentored?
Okay, so like, see, I think I have covered the bits of part of it
Yeah.
when I was talking about the challenges that they face. Okay, that you have to analyze your data well. Okay, and when you are analyzing the data, don't be biased. Okay, because most of the time what we do is that we get biased with our ideas. Okay, that biasness actually leads to the wrong decisions. So that biasness we need to improve when we are launching a product. Take, I'll say that one of the thing which we always recommend to all of the startups, that you go and get it validated to someone who is not the party of your decision making.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe that's where again the role of mentor comes. Okay, so if you really want to, because see, otherwise, if you will reach up to that stage whereby it's difficult for you to come back, okay, this will, like, even if you're investing more of time and the money and the business, after that, coming back is very difficult. It's always good to go to the mentor and discuss, and like, don't give your biasness to the mentors. Let them effectively do it, okay? Even from the data and whatever you analyze, if you have money, if you have got the early funding from someone, I will suggest to get those data validated from the market also. Okay, there are like many of I'll not say go to the McKinsey or the big ones. Okay, but you can
Okay.
always have the one who can analyze the data for you, can tell you more about it. Okay, and also you have to adopt it. Okay, like most of the time what I have seen, that whenever you are raising any point, anything which is against that startup, people might start feeling like try to defend. Okay, don't try to defend,
Yes.
because this is something that is which is good for you for the latest stage. So that is also something I'll suggest, that always take the help of mentor and get your data validated from the third party with no biasness. Then trust me, it's like the same thing that which I covered in the beginning. You will fail fast. Even if you're failing at that point of a time, you will appreciate that fail, because you know in the beginning itself, without investing that much of time and money on those projects.
Okay, okay. Though we are running out of time, but I still want to take this last question from the thought process, that how do you think that AI and technology is changing the role of startups? How things are dynamics are changing? Probably because that needs attention for every founders and wannabe founders.
Okay, so I think you have touched the area whereby it can be a full course kind of a thing then. Okay,
Yeah.
so see, now again, the AI has come with the huge opportunity. We all know about it. Okay, huge opportunity, in the sense that, if this is something which is an AI startup, I'm not talking about that. Even if that is not an AI startup, okay, you can take a lot of help from the startups. Why? I'm giving you one example. Like we were discussing about the data validation, we were
Yes.
discussing about the challenges, is right. We were discussing about how to get it from the system itself. So AI can be your mentor.
Yeah.
AI can be your mentor. How it can be? If you know how to give the proper prompt to the data, okay, AI can analyze the data without biasness. But you have to understand, you have to know that how to do it. Okay. For that, again, if you need, maybe you can go through some of the courses. Like, for example, I'm doing it for my company. Even if like I am thinking about any of the project, any of the proposal, okay, apart from like doing it on a big Excel sheets, it's always an opportunity for me to do it on AI. Okay, because it will take my less of time, and it will tell me more effectively that why I should not do that and why I should do that.
That makes total
So I
sense,
think
that
even,
you can find AI mentor.
yeah, so like that works really as a good mentor. So I'll suggest that use it effectively. Okay, you have to must understand that how to give the prompt to that. Okay, and how to use it. Okay, and obviously, if you can take help of, again, who is a mentor and who knows about AI, that can always help you. But this is going to change the world very soon. I'm sure that is helping a lot of startups already. Though I have not used it for my startups till now. Okay, I have only used it for the company, because I normally don't want to use. I want to always use the a version of it which is validated by someone. Okay, so that is still going on,
Sure.
and
Yes.
probably I will start recommending some of the AI tools, okay, which has been validated for the startups, that can be an effective tool for the startups.
Okay, that thanks Vishal for sharing that. And for the benefit of our audience, the LinkedIn profile of Vishal is shown below, so you can follow him for interesting updates like that. And type in the comment box on a scale of 1 to 5 that how much value you gained from today's program, because it will help us understand that how things are changing and how we can help you keep growing. So do type in the chat comment box below one line of commendation, that what did you how did you finding this session and how you liked especially the today's session. With that, thanks Vishal for sharing your immense insight, your life experiences with us, that fail fast and so many other things that can help India to grow, because it's not just the company that grows, it's the India that is grow. Thanks again.
Thank you very much, Vikas, and it's my pleasure to be in this ecosystem and in this forum. Okay, I'll suggest, maybe I just want to give some name to the listeners so that they can get
Sure.
benefited out of it. Okay, so maybe if you have anything which is in your mind as an innovation, okay, any ideas if you have, and if you want to need help, okay, TIE is one of the forum which is helping a lot to any of the startups.
Yes,
They have a
the Indus
proper team.
entrepreneurs. Yeah, yeah, very good forum, Thai.
Yeah, so like they can connect to them. Okay, they can connect to me if they want any kind of a guidance or help from to reach out to them. Okay, I will actually help them to connect to a forum whereby they will get all kind of a help, all kind of mentors, networking, ideas, everything.
Sure, sure. Thanks again, and thanks to the audience for always watching our show, Vectoscaler Tech Talk. With next week, let's come with another amazing speaker like Vishal, who will share some of their life experiences with you, so that you can grow and apply technology to become successful. With that, have a nice day ahead. Bye bye. Signing out.
Thank you.
Vectoscaler Tech Talk. Thank you. Thanks, Vishal.